to a deserted place, raped me, beaten me some more.
Rape. What are women doing about it? They're fighting back with a fury by training themselves in the tactics of self-defense. No one kicks sand on Arnold Schwarzenegger, living proof that where women are concerned, there's more to a man than just a handsome face. From Las Vegas, where the sun never sets, the fun never stops, and the money keeps right on flowing. A look behind the scenes to see how casinos stack the odds against cheating. Shooting films can be a dangerous business, and not all the action happens in front of the camera. Delivering the thrills on Bionic Woman demands the skills of a new kind of specialist, the professional stunt woman. Pyramid power, a force from the past that may be shaping the future. What's the point of the pyramid craze? Ask rock and roller Todd Rundgren. He's built his act on pyramid power.
Millions of women are deathly afraid of rape, and not without good reason. For every 9 minutes in this country of ours, a woman is sexually assaulted by a man. Often the attack occurs in a lonely place like this. But according to the pages of 17 magazine, it could happen anywhere. At home in the afternoon, or along a crowded street. One Friday night in June, I went down to the big international airport, and I did all the things that I had to do. It took a little longer, so it was dark by the time I had to go back to my car in the parking lot. Although I heard someone walking behind me after we left the big crowd after you go across the street. I didn't pay any attention to it. I just figured it was someone going to their car too. It wasn't until I got up to the car door that I was slammed against my door by a very large man. I didn't really know what was happening for a long time. He took me to a friend's home near where he lived. And there I was subjected to a gang rape.
These women are part of a growing backlash against rape. Women who are serving notice on rapists that they are not going to take it anymore.
And you just got to go up for the throat or the eyes. Get my hands in, hit in the nose, and then coming down in a claw into the eye. Grasping here. Okay, the first thing that he's expecting
In the 7 years she's taught her anti-rape course, physical education instructor Betty Brooks has trained nearly 3,000 women, helping them deal with fears that in some cases have haunted them for years.
I had so much discomfort in going out alone at night. And in fact, many times I missed important evenings to me, meetings or what have you, because of this discomfort.
Great. I was raped in my apartment about 3 months ago here in Santa Monica. A guy came in about 2 in the morning when I was asleep and held a knife to my throat and blindfolded me and tied me up and raped me. It's like this unfinished anger and unfinished feelings I've had because I don't know who the guy is.
There are situations in which women wake up and men are either on top of them or you feel very vulnerable. Know that no one protects them anymore. Their husband's not going to be at home, the policeman is not going to be there, and they have not been taught the skills in this society to take care of themselves.
Always do the unexpected. You know, they're expecting you to be parallel to the computer. I want this. I want you down. You gotta sit up. Think of being into the female earth. That up there is getting you up too high, he'll get you.
We also know that rape is not going to go away and muggings aren't going to go away until attitudes change, particularly until we get rid of sexism in our society. That means men seeing women as being vulnerable and lesser than them.
Well, it's just a marvelous feeling to know that I could stand up straight and tall and fight like hell.
Rape statistics suggest that half-hearted resistance may only make matters worse, inciting the rapist to violence. And that's why self-defense counselors stress that a woman had better know exactly what she's doing before she decides to fight.
We also teach her that she's got to win. This is not a question of hitting one blow and he's going to go away. She's got to decide that it's him or her.
I would make a lot of noise. I would not be paralyzed with fear. I would not be astounded with my mouth open, a rag doll for anything he wanted to do.
We're trying to enable women to understand that women who fight are healthy. They're not healthy. They also get out of situations.
I asked my husband to help me practice tonight before I came. And he came up from behind me and grabbed me, and he grabbed me much harder than we had done with each other here. And I found the first thing I did was to bite his arm, gouge him in the ribs, and use my rear end to get leverage, and I got out of it. And then I flipped him, and he's over 6 feet tall and weighs quite a bit more than I do, and it shocked us both tremendously. But it was good because he said, you know, you really can take care of yourself. And I said, I know.
Coming up next, male sex symbol Arnold Schwarzenegger and the lowdown on Las Vegas casinos. From Celebrity Magazine, world champion bodybuilder Arnold Schwarzenegger. Austrian-born Arnold Schwarzenegger is the retired king of bodybuilding, 6-time winner of the coveted Mr. Olympia crown. For those who think that the unisex look is here to stay, Arnold has startling news. For according to him, women are starting to look at men as sex objects.
The enormous explosion has happened in bodybuilding. And I think some of the reasons are, number one, women's liberation. I think that we got to a point where it's not anymore just a man's job to go and look at the woman's body and say, well, she looks great, she has a great hips and so on. But women turned around now and say, well, he looks great, he looks muscular, he looks slim, he looks fat. I don't want to go out with him because he's too fat. The reaction towards bodybuilders from women has changed so much in the last few years. It has been incredible because I'm in a position now, because of the physical development, and that you go on the beach and girls come up to you and ask you for a date and say, listen, I really like the way you look. Can I, have a date with you, or can I give you my phone number? So, which is something that was unheard of a few years ago. It has gotten to a point now where sometimes, people just try to tear your clothes off in order just to touch you. I went up with this elevator to this Yugoslavian woman, and they started feeling my body and saying, oh, you must be Arnold Schwarzenegger. He says, wow, look at this body. And this one girl started tearing off my shirt and started feeling my pectorals, my shoulders and so on. It was incredible. I didn't know what to do. I mean, it's sometimes so unexpected that people do things like this to you, But the whole thing, I would say, ended up very positively.
Whatever Arnold Schwarzenegger's doing, he's obviously doing it right, for it's won him a role in the film Pumping Iron, a celluloid look at the glamorous world of bodybuilding, where success has its own special rewards. With Schwarzenegger as its focus, the film follows an aspiring Adonis from obscurity to the bright lights of stardom, the ultimate trip for every muscular young man. Arnold himself traveled this route, all the way to the titles of Mr. World, Mr. Universe, and Mr. Olympia, which is as far as a bodybuilder can go. But Arnold is not only a bodybuilder and an actor, he's an author as well. In his book, Arnold, The Education of a Bodybuilder, he points out that at least for him, bodybuilding is not just a passion, but an art.
I feel a bodybuilder has to be kind of like a sculptor, because what he does is the same thing what a sculptor does, except he uses a different kind of equipment to change the shape of the body.
It's a tough and demanding routine, requiring long hours of training, of discipline, and sacrifice. But like everyone else, bodybuilders must one day grow old. What happens then? Arnold's not worried in the least.
Weight training is something I always will do for the rest of my life, up until the time I die, as long as I can do it, because it feels good. I'm addicted to weight training. And bodybuilding has been my best psychiatrist that I could find, so it's really fantastic.
No doubt about that. Fantastic is right for Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's built a sexy and lucrative career by building up his body. From After Dark magazine, The Tricks of the Trade in Las Vegas. Money. This is the counting room of the Golden Nugget Casino in Las Vegas. Every day, $500,000 changes hands here. That's what Las Vegas is all about. Money. Las Vegas, where no one comes away without leaving something of himself behind, to be sorted, weighed, and counted. The clerks at the Golden Nugget tote up 20 tons of change in a week, including enough nickels to make a stack a mile high. The man who watches over all this cash is casino owner Steve Wynn, who came to town with 30 grand and in 3 short years turned it into millions. In a night on the town, he showed me the tricks of the trade.
Fantastic. I like this part. If it could be this way all the time, it would be terrific.
If it could be that way, it'd be perfect as right.
I've been thinking about all of the money that flows through here every day. Do you ever have to worry about people cheating?
All the time.
Yes?
I'm afraid that somehow we've been lumped together with the United States government and the IRS. People in general just don't mind stealing from the casino. It's like they're not doing anything wrong. Maybe they're right.
Right or wrong, they keep on trying to lick the system. It's really hard for me to imagine how to foil a machine. How do you do that?
They put the quarter in to get the machine ready. They have a little hole drilled in the side so they can interfere with the clock that causes the reel to stop. That's why these reels are sort of spinning freely. Then they take a magnet, which is concealed in a package of cigarettes, they put it on the window, and it stops the jackpot symbol, and they move it down so that it's right in the window, like that one. Then they let the clock click. After they get the jackpot symbols lined up with the magnet, they take it away, they release the clock, and the jackpot is on. It's a terrible thing. I can't stand the sound of it like that. But if you try that in most of the machines, for example, drop a quarter in that one. And the guy comes with his tricky magnet and he puts it next to the machine, and all of a sudden the lights go out and it starts to blink. It goes into a tilt.
Yes.
That machine won't pay off any money, and that's a signal that you tried to swindle the machine with a magnet, and it blinks until the security come and take you away.
That.
And the good guys swilling in, thieves are foiled.
Maybe it's true that there's a little larceny in everyone's soul, but where cards are concerned, the casino's got a few tricks up its sleeve to keep the game fair and square.
I want you to get with maintenance if we can in the next few days. Maybe we could put a closed-circuit TV camera up there and one on this side. And between the two of them, we could probably get a look at the whole writing situation on closed-circuit TV.
Hidden away from the players is an arsenal of electronic gadgets, part of the casino's constant watch against those who cheat. And if evidence is needed in court, the videotape can close the case. But few come to Las Vegas with larceny in mind, and though some must leave disappointed, hope springs eternal. Fortunately, there's enough of the winners to keep the casinos and the customers humming happily. spotlights the secrets of the bionic woman and the pyramid power of rocker Todd Rundgren. From TV Guide, the Bionic Stunt Woman. The exciting adventures of TV's Bionic Woman keep the viewers glued to their sets, but real as the action seems on the screen, all of it is make-believe, a matter of ingenious stunts. Performing stunts is a risky business, too dangerous for the star of the show, and that's where Rita Eggleston comes in. As a professional stunt woman, Rita takes the lumps for Lindsay Wagner, making the impossible look easy. In the course of her weekly chores, Rita's leaped out of cars, crashed motorcycles, dodged ammunition, and been blown up by explosives. But make no mistake about it, every stunt is the result of long hours of hard work and research. For more than anyone else, Rita knows that when the cameras roll, her neck is on the line. Whenever Lindsay Wagner finds herself in the throes of danger, it's Rita's job to save her with one of her daring leaps. Quite a challenge, it would seem, but for Rita, it's all part of the daily routine. Here's how it works. They film Rita jumping backwards, but then for TV, they reverse the film, so it looks like she's jumping up.
Get it all cut together. You'll see her run in, and then take off. And then they'll cut to me jumping up to the flame bucket, and you'll see a close-up of her actually landing.
But it's not quite as simple as that. For when it's filmed, Rita's got to lean her body forward so it appears like she's jumping up.
If I were leaning back, it would look like she were leaning back. So I have to look as if I'm leaning forward. But landing straight up and down, I can then bend my knees and sit back and roll out of the shot. These stunts have all been set up so that they are safe to do, but it can't be done by anybody.
It seems like these days a new cult is born almost every minute. And one of the newest and strangest has got to be the pyramid craze. According to believers, pyramids focus the forces of the universe. And already they've found applications for this in everything from cooking and gardening to rock and roll. So now from the pages of Cream magazine, Todd Rundgren and Utopia. When it comes to ambitious productions, Rundgren's group is hard to top. But what have pyramids to do with rock and roll? To Rundgren, the pyramid's an inspirational force that moves and shapes his music.
I suppose pyramids in Egypt go together, although we only chose it more or less for stylistic continuity. There are pyramids in other parts of the world. Pyramid power, indeed it does exist, doesn't belong to the Egyptians. No more than gravity belongs to the Egyptians.
Rundgren has written a rock opera about four musicians who battle the elements in their search for a glass guitar.
The story of the glass guitar is allegory. Each of the individual members symbolically conquers an actual physical thing, what are represented on the stage by four elements: fire, earth, and water. The first challenge is the challenge of water, which Willie the drummer is symbolizing. His struggle to swim the rapids and go over the falls and swim to a point in the bottomless pool at which he recovers his key. chasm. He has to wander the trackless deserts, battered by winds and sandstorms, before he finds his key. The third key is the fire key. Roger symbolizes that. He has to go into the mysterious forest of flame and battle the fire-breathing dragon. Adventure, and I have to climb to the top of this mountain, and once I get to the top of the mountain there is no key there for some reason, so in a rage I've been chopping at the ground with my pickaxe, and there's an earthquake beneath the mountain. It splits open and I symbolically fall into it over the last key. Keys having been recovered, we march off triumphantly and open the chest and smash the guitar and free the spirit of harmony, and everybody lives happily ever after. What else?
Well, why not? Pyramids and rock and roll, bodybuilding and gambling. They're all part of Special Edition. Thank you for joining us. See you again next time.